for you. For those who don't know, my name is Eddie. This is my co-host over here, Jay. Behind the camera, we got Miguel.
What's going on?
So we were talking about, which I was congratulating Miguel, no more nicotine for Miguel. Well, not necessarily nicotine, but no more vape. And, Jay's been saying Monday for like 3 months now.
3 Mondays.
3 Mondays? Fuck, I wish it was only 3.
It was 3 Mondays.
What? More like 3 months worth of Mondays.
No, bro.
Come on, bro.
No, bro. 3 months will put us past, it would put us in November. That would
Yeah, that would make sense.
Shut up. We went on a cruise before November.
Yeah, you've been saying that shit for a long time.
Nah, bullshit, exaggeration.
Yeah, whatever.
Like a solid 4 weeks. 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks.
Like 2 months at least.
Okay, whatever.
But yeah, man, it's just
What's up?
it's a lot of money for no fucking reason, really. I don't know. I was thinking about it. It's just like,
I mean, if you look at it, if your usage gets really heavy, which I know you guys don't hit them that much, but you guys were probably buying what, one every 4 days, probably.
No, every 2 weeks or so.
Last me a week.
A week?
A week.
Okay,
weeks,
so that's not too
depends.
bad. That's not too bad, really. Like, because I guess the Zins, what? I buy probably a can of Zins every, I don't know, maybe every 5 days, and so it's like that's $5 every 5 days. There's $1 a day in Zins, you know.
I've only bought 2 cases of Zins before, and I only.
But you've been actively hitting those, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hit the vapes at all.
I'm not using Zins trying to quit. I'm just trying to get a buzz.
But that's gonna go away. The more you chew on the Zins, you don't chew them. The more you
that's the
throw
thing,
them.
though. It's like I don't do
It's
them
gonna go.
often.
Yeah, it's gonna go away though.
I'll pack one from time to time, but it's not something I'm constantly doing.
Yeah, go for 2 days without puffing nicotine and put that in. You get the biggest buzz of your life.
Oh yeah, for me when I
That's like fucking going to a AA meeting and telling the people to drink.
Yeah, pretty much.
I went through that, like, in the sense where I stopped hitting the vapes at like 100% cold turkey, and then I kind of was like catching myself wanting to hit them here and there, and I started doing it again, and so I was like, fuck it, let me switch to the Zins completely and not do that at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Zins were hitting hard when I first started them.
It's like that, man. Like it takes one, it just takes one.
I bought that pack of 6 milligram and tried that shit out. It fucking made me sick.
Yeah.
So I just
6 milligram for me isn't too bad. I don't know. Maybe it's because I smoke quite a decent amount.
Yeah, that could be it. That because you're hitting your vape pretty often and you're still on it. Maybe if I like went directly from like vaping to the 6 milligrams, it wouldn't have affected me as much. But yeah, I like the Zins.
Jay,
they're
do
cheap.
you do the 6 or the 3?
Huh?
What's that?
Do you do the 6 or the
3?
I like the 3s.
It's a smoother feeling, huh?
It almost it kind of just gets rid of the craving, and it doesn't really give you that much of a buzz. That's what I like about it.
I'll feel the bite in my throat, and that's when I take it out. The minute I start feeling the bite in my throat, I take it out because I know that's like too much already.
So you instantly feel that then with the 6 milligrams because they'll hit you like that.
Yeah, the 6 milligrams, the drip is like almost instant.
Mm-hmm.
It instantly starts dripping, and the burn on the lip is instant.
I can feel it right now.
Versus like exactly, I threw a 3 milligram in, and like it's taking a second. It takes a second until you start to really feel it. And the whole burning in the throat thing, I feel like I don't feel it anymore at all. Like it just kind of gotten used to it to the point just because I leave them in until they go through the whole full cycle. I just kind of like, I used to do the same thing, like take them out at like after like 5-10 minutes because they would just start to like burn in my mouth or whatever, the nicotine. But
I think that's why I'm like more conscious about not keeping it for too long and do something, but I forget about it. Like the minute I feel the burn, I take it out. Like immediately take it out because I don't want to get used to that.
That's a good idea. Whenever you feel the burn, take it out.
Yeah. You ever feel the burn? There's something wrong with her.
This is the thing, though. I find it so inconvenient, like trying to like have walking around with the 2 packs and like taking one out and doing it like that and stuff. Like for me, it's just I like
pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is a pain in the ass. So like I like the fact that I've gotten used to it in the sense where I just put it in, and when I'm taking it out, it's because it's done. I'm throwing it away.
You know what's funny? Look at the algorithm, bro. Algorithm has detected that we do talk about watches during our podcast. Look what the next suggestion is. If somebody's
I was just watching that video. That's the one I was telling you.
Oh,
that's the one you can see the red bar. It's halfway through because I was watching it.
I thought it was just like recognizing that we talk watches and and then just, hey Eddie, what's going on? I saw you chat in there.
Yeah,
what's going on?
That's actually a really good video. Actually, that shit's crazy. The amount of like piece uniques, Ed Sheeran has. That's a watch right there that is insane. So
That one is pretty cool, yeah.
no, it's go to the video. Fuck the picture. Go to the video that's from Instagram. It's called the RM69 Erotica or something like that. Tourbillon Erotic. And look what it says. I'd love to devour your nipples.
Yeah.
And then
you
it
push
changes.
the button and it changes.
I want to kiss you tonight. I need to abuse your pussy. That is some crazy shit. And the watch has been out for looks like about 8 years.
Yeah,
it's
been
thick
around for
boy.
a while. Yeah.
Is it
It's
like
a
a sought
thick
after
one.
watch or?
It's
Yes.
$2 million, so it probably is pretty sought
shit,
after.
okay.
Because I mean, it is an RM and this and that, but it's probably less than $1 million retail. But if you want it, it's probably going for about $2 million.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get your hands on one like this.
It looks like it was
Maluma
just
wore
30
his-
pieces.
Maluma wore his tourbillon to the Grammys.
Which one?
Oh, he wore the Jacob and Co. Astronomia,
Yeah.
the one with like the purple.
The big fucking.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
had,
know
like,
how's
purple-
that even
it was
convenient.
full
I'd
of-
be afraid to break that glass.
It
you
was
know?
full of purple baguettes. Or pink or purple baguettes. Yeah, that's the one. I saw that.
I think so.
It's fucking huge, man.
It's
It's
huge,
a
yeah.
huge watch. I think, like, is it me or Jacob is a taller dude, right?
He's taller.
He's a little bit of a taller guy. He fits that watch. I think like fits him a little bit better than a smaller guy.
Bro,
like
that watch
Maluma.
does not fit anyone, bro. As high as it stands out, it's crazy to me. You know
The
what I mean?
picture I saw, I think, was similar to this one. Like, yeah, it just looks so huge. It's a piece of art. It's like a piece of art, though. Yeah, baguette, rose gold, ruby.
Who could rock that? J Balvin?
I mean, any of these celebrities can rock
all,
that.
all these.
you know?
Any of them, bro. You put that shit on it. You put that shit on it just to
You're a baller.
flex.
Yeah.
You're
That's
just
literally
that's
what it's
just
for.
A
It's just
baller shit
flex.
right there. Look, it's $1 million.
Sheesh.
Literally got $1 million on his wrist.
Yeah, this is just a flex watch. So, I have a couple of more interesting articles, which I found this one is pretty interesting because it says breakthrough study reveals that Alzheimer's disease can be transmitted between people, which
Hey,
I
yo.
think that's crazy.
Nah, no way.
You know, your wife and your husband got an Alzheimer's. You better pack
Dude,
their
there's
shit and put
so
it outside
much
the door.
bullshit on the internet, dude. I read something on Instagram that said that Alzheimer's. There was a study in quotation marks that said that Alzheimer's could potentially be caused due to nose picking. So due to transmitting bacteria into the nostrils.
Oh my god, no. There's no way.
Well, what about picking your ass? Maybe you transfer bacteria that way when you pick your ass.
So this
So
study.
what you're saying is fingering is not
So he
safe.
says, in groundbreaking discovery, scientists have presented the first evidence of Alzheimer's disease transmission in living individuals. A recent paper published in Nature Medicine.
Medicine.
I can see it from
Yeah, I
here.
got you. Sheds light on a remarkable case where Alzheimer appears to have medically acquired through the transmission of the amyloid beta protein.
See,
Typically-
like, this doesn't say you pick your nose and you get bacteria. This actually tells you names of the proteins that are involved.
Yeah, but sometimes they try and use big words to confuse
Sometimes they do.
it's all right. We'll get to the end of the article. And it's like, oh no, but it's just this.
you. Right?
Typically
Just clickbait.
Typically considered a sporadic condition of late adult life or an inherited condition resulting from faulty genes, Alzheimer's disease has long remained a complex puzzle for researchers. However, this new study brings to the forefront a unique scenario where the disease was seemingly transmitted through medical treatment. The individuals in
Oh, it's
question
transmitted through medical
there was
treatment.
medical treatment involved. So they were giving people Alzheimer's. That's
No, by
fucked up.
accident, maybe.
That's
Or
even
was
worse.
it? Or was it? The individuals in question had all received a type of human growth hormone known as cadaver-derived human growth hormone. That sounds fucking like a
HGH.
villain shit, dude.
No, HGH, a lot of times, a lot of bodybuilders will use HGH to get bigger.
Cadaver-derived human growth hormone?
But that was given
so they
to
take
them
it
during
from a
childhood.
dead body?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so they gave it to them during their childhood. This hormone was derived from pituitary
Gland, that's in your throat.
harvested
Oh,
from
not
diseased
throat of your head.
individuals and was employed to treat various causes of short stature. Remarkably, CHGH was administered to at least 1,848 people in the UK between 1959 and 1985.
So there you go. So they gave him this hormone for people that were kind of shorter in stature to grow. It's like a hormone therapy. No, this is a protein therapy more than, but this is a hormone therapy. But
So,
apparently that fired back.
What they're saying is because this shit comes from dead bodies that they could have transferred it from the bodies where they got these
that
proteins
yeah,
from, and
that
then
body could have already had an Alzheimer's, and that's how they could get transferred over.
shit. No, this shit is okay. I thought this was bullshit, but now it's just scary.
Unfortunately, CHGH was withdrawn from use in 1985 due to the realization that some batches were contaminated with prions, infectious proteins known to cause whatever this is.
Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease.
Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, CJD, consequently synthetic growth hormone devoid of the risk of transmitting CJD.
So prions,
CHGH in medical practice.
Prions is some crazy shit, bro. They'll get into your brain and like fuck your brain up.
Isn't that crazy that there's...
And prions are not viruses. That it's like their own little thing. They're not viruses. They're not bacteria. It's their own little fucking thing.
Isn't it crazy that there's like worms that could go into your brain and you won't really notice it until you get like a headache that's like terrible and you go to the doctor and you get a scan and they're like, yeah, you have a fucking like worm.
I mean, I know this is all like a show, but
it
like
has happened before.
we and Emily were watching Good Doctor the other day, and they had a case where this kid got some crazy like parasite or something that got like some bacteria got into his brain just from not using boiled water for a nasal flush. Like they just used like fresh water, like I guess tap water or whatever to do the nasal flush, and just dosed it with the salt to make it saline or whatever. And they were saying that commonly happens when you don't boil the water that you flush through your nose.
Yeah, you have to get that fucking bacteriostatic water or some kind of water that's like...
Instantly, Emily goes, I never boil it. It's all paranoid and shit.
Yeah, Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, like this is like pretty much game over. Like it fucks up your brain like completely. Like turns your brain into mush.
Didn't know that.
Well, this was scarier than we thought it was going to be, but no one... I would suggest nobody take dead people hormones.
Yeah, that would be one thing. Now, I thought this article is kind of cool too because a lot of people are complaining about, prices being high, which everyone is.
You just need to know how to shop.
Well, I don't know, man. So every time I see a deal of something and I know I used it in the past, I just grab it, and I always look for those deals. My
mom's always coming home and be like, I got the cereal this time. It was buy one get one.
Yeah, bro. That's how you get shit. Go down. It says America had.
Yeah, go for
Americans
the deals,
had to weather much in the years in COVID-19.
Americans have had to
go to the second because these fucking introduction parts are usually stupid.
You're giving us an article here, Jay. You should have just told us what the article was about. Yeah, that's quite a bit.
He's saying you should have prefaced your research already.
Read it from the third one.
All right.
So it says,
says
attempting to downplay this reality.
I don't know what he's going to say.
If I start from the third one, this is already giving me a conclusion, which I haven't read into in the second.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why you go to the second.
Right.
It just gives you a little clue.
Reporting on a new Census Bureau survey, USA's Today's Sarah Cherknikoff found that the average American household spends more than $1,000. You know what? This is a Russian name. I think this is bullshit.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Putin's spies.
Yeah. So the average American household spends more than $1,000 per month on groceries, and while it's not surprising that those residing in expensive states like California have high grocery bills, there's literally for those living in states with lower cost of living. An average California family weekend grocery bill is $2.97.72, but an average North Carolina family's bill is $2.66.23, nearly as high. Attempting to downplay this reality, Paul Donovan, chief economist of UBS Global Wealth Management, wrote an op-ed in the New York Times that Americans might be overestimating how serious inflation is, feeling the pinch most especially when they buy something as small as a candy bar. Consumers perceive inflation as higher than it actually is, wrote Donovan. Further, he claimed, humans are genetically programmed to emphasize bad news over good news when they make decisions. Donovan is implying that we're just imagining high grocery bills. In fact...
Donovan fucking... can go and suck a dick.
They're high, bitch.
In fact, inflation as a grocery industry has been higher than other industries, rising 25% over the past 4 years compared to 19% overall, and many have pointed to simple greed as the reason. Food prices are high because the companies setting prices think they can get away with padding their profits. Since we all have to eat, naturally this hits lower income families harder, rather like a regressive tax. A new report by the Groundwork Collaborative found that in 2022, consumers in the bottom quintile of the income spectrum spent 25% of their income on groceries, while those in the highest quintile spent under 3.5%. Economists have attempted to explain the reasons for grocery-related inflation remaining stubbornly high by pointing fingers at
So stop for a second. So 25% is actually an average number that was spent throughout the history until the invention of like genetically modifying foods. Back in the day, people would spend 25% of their income on groceries. But what do you think? Why they could spend 25% of income and be still comfortable? Think about it.
Their expense list wasn't as large as their expense list now.
Correct. Our expenses is a lot. Now, here's the question. Back then, they didn't have phones. They didn't need to have 34 or 5 TVs that they're
Most
paying
people
for.
didn't have cars.
Most people didn't have cars,
Yeah.
you know.
Didn't have Netflix.
And if they had a
They
car,
have all the subscriptions.
yeah, and if they had a car, it would be one car for the entire family as opposed to having 2 or 3 cars. So bottom line,
They didn't have Spotify.
yeah, bottom line, I think this number is like they're fucking misleading you by saying, well, the lower income earners spend 25%, higher income earners spend 3.5%. No shit, Cheryl. Like if they make more money, they're gonna spend less money on the groceries. The grocery bill stays the same whether you're
Yeah, it's
higher
not like
income.
because they start making more money,
Yeah.
I eat more food.
Exactly. Or if anything, higher income people probably spend a lot more because they're going to things like Sprouts and like fucking Whole Foods and shit like that, you know? 'Cause-
And they're going to like really nice restaurants. And
Sprouts
Exactly.
is a new restaurant that's coming around here too now, right?
Sprouts is a store that I know. I don't know.
market.
About
It's
the
like a
restaurant.
market.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I mean, I don't really go to fresh markets like that.
Sprouts is expensive in comparison to
I'm
like
a Floridian,
Publix.
all right? I go to Publix.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to
Pul-
compare it
Pul-
to.
And Publix.
And Publix is definitely more expensive than Walmart, but Sprouts is more expensive than Publix. But the prices are maybe like $1 or $2 more than Publix, right?
Shit,
Like on the same
that
item.
shit starts adding up.
It
Yeah,
does.
it does add up. 'cause
It
you
does.
got
You
40
you
items.
start getting spaghetti. You need spaghetti, right? You need the macaroni, right? You got $1 on that. That's $1.
Well, no. When I'm saying
you got
dollar,
the pasta, that's another $1.
Think-
on
think
Need
top
of-
some
of
salt.
it. Yeah, the salt, yeah. Bro. That shit's taxed.
so think of it this way: if it costs $9 in Publix and Sprouts, it costs 10. So just kind of do the math from there. So $9 will give you like $1 will be 10. So if you're spending only $5, it'd be 50 cents. If you're spending $3, it'd be like 30 cents. You know, that's what I mean. Like, so it's all relative. But the point here is like I dislike articles like that when motherfuckers come in and say, well, they spend 25%. Everybody's like, oh, poor people that don't have money spending. Yeah, they're spending a lot of money, but you're not giving them a context as far as like, okay, well, back in the day, that's how it used to be. But now we have more expenses because we put these expenses on. Let's think about it this way. Can you technically go without a cell phone? You can. You don't have to have a cell phone, but we like to have a cell phone. It's convenience.
I was about to say, you really can't.
Yeah, you can. People did that shit all the time.
You know why you can't?
People
Because-
you said
ready?
it best though. People did that back in the day.
An email,
Correct.
But
an
not
email,
anymore. You
an
can't do that
email is
anymore.
almost a requirement nowadays.
That's true, but then you can have a cheap computer that can only access email, right?
Yeah, you can.
Nah, that's kind of crazy though.
No,
'cause
no,
you're
what
not
I'm-
pull-
it's like-
what
you're
I'm
pulling
saying-
up and like take my email.
What
to
I'm
an
saying
email.
is
It's just-
very extreme in
I was just
our
about to say,
situation, right?
It's just like saying I don't need a stove. I have a flint and you know,
But
like, you know.
Don't worry, bro. I'll heat your shit up.
No,
don't,
no.
don't use the microwave though. I got wood and fire in the bag. We got
No, no,
this.
what
Give
I'm
me, like
saying-
30 minutes.
what I'm
I'll get
saying,
it ready
I mean,
for
I
you.
acknowledge it. What I'm saying is a fucking extreme. I understand that. That is an extreme, right?
You basically need a phone.
But
nowadays.
what I dislike is that, now I'm not saying that these people spend the money without thinking about what they can save. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is advertisers shoving shit down your throat. You need this. You need this. You need this. You need this.
Not
and
only
you're
do
trying
you-
to keep up with the
not
fucking
only do you need
Joneses.
this,
You know, that's the
not
problem.
only do you need this, they keep feeding you. You can afford it. You can
You can-
afford it.
yes,
You can afford it. You
That's
can afford
the
it.
issue. It's not that they're spending 25%. The issue is that these advertisers shoving it down the throat, and somehow you're not a human being if you don't have this.
And it's not even a thing of like you can afford this because we know you can't afford this. It's that they make it affordable to you.
Make it look like it's
Yeah,
affordable
they-
to you.
They give you credit
Yeah,
cards. And
that's
they
the biggest
rip you.
issue. But like, there's like back in the day, there was also a disparity between people that made money and people that didn't make money. This has existed throughout the history because if you think about it, it has to exist. This has to exist. Everyone cannot be on the same playing field. Everyone is kind of given the opportunity, but you cannot have the same outcome. Like having the same outcome, which guys, I disagree with that. You have the opportunity, but you're not guaranteed the outcome, right? So, I don't know, man. I think some of these things, like, I don't like just add that little bit for people to understand what's going on. Not just give 24%, 3.5%. Not somebody that read that article, they're going to start, fucking rich people, I hate them. You know what I mean?
That being said, I think we're good on this article.
Yeah,
right?
we're good on this article for sure.
We talked about Joey Rogan with 250 mil contract renewal.
No, we mentioned how he
Through
did
Spotify?
renew, but it's non-exclusive. It's a non-exclusive deal.
Where is it gonna go?
No. Meaning he has the deal with Spotify for 250 million, but it's non-exclusive, where he doesn't have to only post his shit on Spotify.
No, I understand, but where is it gonna go? YouTube doesn't want him. They damn near canceled it on YouTube. So if it goes back, YouTube has kind of pulled back.
Yeah, because I think at this point, Joe Rogan could have gone where the fuck he wanted. Maybe he wouldn't have got the 250 million he got from Spotify, right? But he could have gone wherever he wanted.
From YouTube? No, bro. YouTube went and fucking the biggest podcast in the world. YouTube wanted to cancel him.
I'm sure YouTube would have made him an
Actually,
offer.
this article my brother will like a lot. So apparently this guy has figured out a way of how to work the claw machines.
Look at this fucking guy. That's all I gotta say. Just look at him.
Tips. He shares a tip to always winning. All right, so let's go to this tip. Where is it? I think he puts it on a video. There you go. Right there. Let's play it. Let's go. Now you gotta complete that.
No.
No.
You just play it there in that little window. You can unmute it there. I don't know. It's a small video. It looks like. Just hit restart. Yeah. If the prizes are near the chute, you don't have to pick them up. You can win them by using one of the claw arms just to scoop it in.
Okay, so it's the scoop method, the scoop method.
I've won a surprising amount of these in my life.
Yeah, I'm surprised Miguel didn't say anything when I said the scoop method. So there you go, guys. The scoop method looks like it works. All right, go to the next article. So
I posted some stuff in general too.
Yeah. So I have really cool 2 articles which I think Miggy will like a lot, and you actually. So I thought this article was kind of crazy because F-150 production is halted. Ford temporarily lays off 9.5 or 10,000 workers.
Damn, after those strikes.
Bro, this has been hitting hard every industry. Media's been laying people off. Ford's been laying people off. Fucking bunch of these big
Before
companies.
You go into
UPS,
this article,
FedEx.
I like how they included these 2 little things. Go up a little bit. It says under a little bit more. Right there. It says, plus, Apple is getting serious about its self-driving car, and Tesla pays $1.5 million for dumping hazardous waste.
Mm-hmm. It's probably California. They probably fucking figure out a little.
So first gear, Ford halts F-150 production. It's been a tough start to the new year for fans of the Ford F-150. After the Blue Oval announced its slashing production of the electric Lightning variant, the Michigan automaker has now revealed it's halting production of the 2024 F-150 pickup for more than 5 days in January. Oh my god, 5 days! This is fucking exciting.
But they're laying off 10,000 people. That's temporarily. Temporarily,
you know what that means.
That means you might come back, you might not.
Exactly.
Go find a new job, and we know people gotta get paid.
Ford stopped production of the truck between the 25th of January to 31st. Let's see if we can see why they had to halt production. Yo, the new F1 cars look sick.
Yeah, they do.
That's stakes.
Well, it said it's a hard start.
During the shutdown, United Auto Workers Union employees working at both facilities were laid off temporarily. In Kansas, 4,500 workers were affected, while the figure in Dearborn was around 5,200. However, workers are now back on site, and regular shifts have returned at both facilities.
So it really was just like a quick temporary thing for 5 days. They were just like, we can't do production.
But remember, these are companies that have billions and billions of dollars. Even if they don't have something to do, they still have something to do.
Why do you think they did this? Because it doesn't give us a why.
Well, it did. It said that Ford fucking sucks. Literally, that's what it said.
Did you guys?
But you have to read between the lines.
This is boring. Let's talk about something a little more fun.
Give it to me.
Go to the aliens. I got some special for you, aliens.
Did you guys see Drake's leak?
Drake's who?
Drake's leak.
No. What is it?
Yeah, I saw that.
There was a leak of Drake.
And now Adam22 is trying to cause a little beef with Aiden about it. That's just funny. So basically, there was a leak of Drake in his bed, doing his thing with himself, right? And then a bunch of people were saying it was fake, and he came out and basically said it was real.
Okay.
And then Aiden Ross, I think, was one of the people who did like the reaction.
Sent
and
him a memo. It was hilarious.
yeah, it was like basically
look
he's
it
like
up.
one of the first guys who reacted to it, right?
Mhm.
And then Adam 22 came out and said, "Man, months ago I posted that I saw that a girl showed me Drake's dick or whatever, and like basically trying to go at Aiden for like stealing the clout of like Drake's cock." This shit's so stupid. He sent a voice memo to Drake after seeing his leak.
Yeah,
A fucking
we have-
A
missile.
fucking missile.
I don't get it. What's the big fucking deal? He's beating his meat. What's the big fucking deal?
No, I'm just kind of jealous, bro. You know,
About what?
the fact that he's got money, he's got the looks,
I just like
he's
Aiden
got
said.
the woman, but he's also got a fucking sling of a dick, dude.
Bro,
JK have it.
he would not have all of this shit. Nobody would even give a fuck about him if he wasn't a celebrity. The reason he's got all those things is because he's a celebrity, because
But
of his
it's
success.
Drake.
He
That's
worked
why it's
really
so
fucking
big.
hard in his life.
That's why we're talking
It's
about
not
it right
big,
now.
bro. It's just some dude jerking off. Who gives a fuck if it's
It
Drake
is
or not?
huge, bro. It's huge.
not. Well, I'm sure it's huge for you. I don't know. I've never seen it, so
You
I don't
haven't
know.
seen it? You want to see it?
No, I don't. I don't need to see it or be jealous of fucking Drake.
You're
Like,
gonna
that's
want
what
to
I
see
don't
it,
understand.
bro. You're gonna want to see it, bro. You're gonna want to see it.
I don't
Bro,
wanna see it.
Is Drake there, bro? He's just playing with it like it's a slinky, bro. It's crazy.
You sure as shit,
dude.
fucking. You better say pause after every single sentence that you just said,
Oh shit.
bro. Like, this is what I don't understand. What the fuck is the big deal about him jerking off? Yeah, he's a dude. He's jerking off. Big fucking deal.
Why is it
There's
on
Drake in the league.
Why is it on Twitter?
Who cares?
Why is it on Twitter though?
Why is it on
Why
Twitter?
is it on Twitter?
It's on Twitter.
Okay, and you got all kinds of shit on Twitter.
That's
you
for
got
sure.
you got loose hoes on
But
Twitter
that's where it
showing
got
their
leaked,
ass,
though. Like,
huh?
but that's where it got leaked though.
I mean, who fucking cares? Honestly, who fucking cares?
You're
Who,
right.
did people expect
it's
him
gonna-
not have a dick?
It's gonna be.
Did people expect him to have a
No,
dick that's a
but-
chode?
Yes, that's exactly what people are expecting. That's why we're so impressed. At least I am.
Why did people expect that? Like, what made him
I
expect
don't know,
that?
dude. It's just like
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, a bunch of haters get together. Well, I bet he's got a small dick and he gets all these girls by his money and status. I mean, who gives a fuck how he gets his girls? He gets his girls. He gets more girls than you do. Shut the fuck up and learn from him. As opposed to,
already
you
know
know
that,
what I mean?
though.
Like, that's what I don't agree with. Like, these people making a fucking... And people been watching, oh my God, Aiden... Who gives a fuck? Like, giving clout to somebody that doesn't bring any fucking value. They're literally... What value does he bring?
All right, before you go off on that rant, we already talked about how this is entertainment. Let's go on to our next article.
All right, go better fucking with aliens, dog. It's more interesting than that shit.
Jay can't just have a fucking laugh.
No, I can have a laugh, but that one. No, go back up. Back to back. That one and that one. 4 black eggs have surfaced from the dark heart of the ocean with alien creatures inside it.
Jay can't,
Doom, doom, doom.
Jay can't appreciate comedy, but he can talk about conspiracy theories.
It's not conspiracy. I want to fucking pick it apart, you know, because I don't believe that's true. So,
4 black eggs have surfaced from the dark heart of the ocean with alien creatures inside. All right, why isn't this over the news? Why isn't the government talking about this?
it's popular mechanics, dog.
During a robotic exploration of the ocean's abyssal pelagic zone, scientists discovered never before seen jet black eggs attached to a rock. After further study and DNA examination, the team discovered that the eggs belonged to a flatworm, an animal usually associated with more shallow waters, previously unknown to science. Though it lives in a much deeper environment, preliminary research concludes that this flatworm species is superficially similar to its more shallow water living relatives. A well-worn expression among oceanographers and others who explore the watery depths of planet Earth is that we humans know the surface of Mars better than our ocean floors, covering more than 70% of the world's surface. Oceans are notoriously difficult to study, not to mention pretty inhospitable to any creature's sans gills. Case in point, scientists from Tokyo University and Hokkaido University in Japan recently stumbled across some mysterious jet black eggs while piloting a remotely operated vehicle in the Pacific Ocean at depth of roughly 6,200 meters. This is the maximum depth of the abyssal pelagic zone, which is the deepest layer of the most of the ocean. Hadopelagic zones are technically deeper, but only fill deep trenches. Any biological discovery in the zone is immensely important, as the life cycles of creatures living there are largely unknown.
That's cool.
That's interesting to think about. Like, we were just on a cruise a couple months ago, and like the water we were going over, they know more about the surface of Mars than they do what's going on in that water.
Yeah, because it's so difficult to get there, you know.
And it's such a vast
So if
area.
you really think about it, you're basically on a plank in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. That's literally what you're on a cruise.
They're just in a plank in the middle of nowhere. If you really think about it,
Yeah, it's gigantic plank. Yeah.
Relying on some engineers to get you there.
you're just relying on a big piece of metal to get you from point A to point B.
Well, go to the next article that was right up below it.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If we were on a cruise and that shit went down, would you start swimming?
Swim where?
Would you try?
I mean,
we're in the Caribbean. People have swam from like Cuba to the.
yeah, but you gotta know which way to fucking swim, because you can end up in a fucking Atlantic Ocean.
That's why you have an alpinist.
Man, shut the hell up.
Oh, your GMT. Your GMT can do it. You give you compass.
Let me look at this while fucking in a cold ass water. Yeah, I'll make it. No,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
can figure
making
out
it.
which way is true north.
We're gonna do the star float method to the coast
And just sit there.
and fucking just flotando.
So Harvard scientist presents new evidence that samples are alien spacecraft. It raised the possibility that it may have been a Voyager-like meteor artificially made by another civilization.
Hey, yo.
Harvard professor and notorious UFO hunter Avi Loeb claims he has new evidence that meteor fragments recovered from the ocean floor are alien technology. Boston Public Radio reports pushing back against detractors who argue their origins are more mundane. It raises the possibility that it may have been a Voyager-like meteor artificially made by another civilization. Loeb told the station on Monday, referring an actual pair of probes sent screaming out of the solar system by NASA back in the 1970s. Though perhaps best known for his provocative theories on the interstellar object Oumuamua that passed through our solar system back in 2017, Loeb's latest findings concern another interstellar oddity, which unlike Oumuamua, found its way to Earth.
You guys
not in one piece.
Have you guys seen that movie Interstellar?
No, but I've heard about it so many times that it makes me want to watch it.
It's fucking mind-blowing. Literally mind-blowing. Because, like, I was watching this clip, actually. They were talking about... so it's one of the most accurate, what they say, most accurate depictions of, like, a black hole you'll ever see. It took... the video I saw said it took 100 hours for it to render every frame of that scene.
So they use
Each
a
frame,
shit
it
ton
took
of
100
CGI.
hours to render it for that black hole scene. It's fucking insane. That movie is literally mind-blowing. I told Emily the other day, because we're watching Good
Is
Doctor
it
right now.
interesting? There's shit going on in there.
It's
Bro, is there action in there?
the movie. Yeah. Oh yeah. Action. Oh yeah. There's not like it's not like shooting action. There's no enemy. The enemy's time. The movie is fucking awesome. I was just telling Emily, like, we're watching Good Doctor, and the moment we're done with Good Doctor,
Yeah, no, I can tell you right away, I would not be able to watch this movie.
why?
Because it's just one guy inside a ship. Yeah, no,
Oh, it's not one guy. It's one guy at one point, but
yeah, I'm not being able to watch
this movie is fucking awesome.
Yeah, just
It's probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's long
I'm
too.
glad you enjoyed it. I would not be able to enjoy this.
I'm telling you, you'd like it, especially how like accurate the depictions are of space, and like the thriller moments of it.
So here's the thing: they're talking about this meteorite being like created by another intelligent being or whatever, right? So I think of it immediately like the Starship Troopers, where those bugs were like shooting these meteorites out of their asses that would like landed on planet Earth. Like maybe they did some dumb shit like that and sent a meteorite out to populate another planet or bring in their bacteria or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think that could be this case scenario. But here's the thing: the closest star to our system, the closest star, which means like the closest sun, another sun to our system, is 4.1 light years away, which is like something crazy, like 23 trillion miles away. Even if you travel at speed of light,
4 years.
4 years for you to get there, right? Now, regular physics, and they're pretty much certain at this point that regular physics works outside of our planet just as inside of our plane, and how they can tell that is by light, by looking at things. So when you get closer to speed of light, time starts changing.
Yes.
And you would never really get to that point. Like we would never know. Even if we launch something,
It's so
we
weird.
wouldn't know.
It's so weird in the sense where you're looking at that star. Let's say you found that star, right? 4
Yeah.
point something light years away. That star where you're looking at it was there 4 years ago. Because
Correct.
that's when the light is finally hitting you.
Yes.
When you're seeing that star in the positioning, it's there. It's not in reality there anymore.
You're seeing
it's
the
somewhere
past.
else. You're seeing the past in a
Yeah.
sense because the light took that long to get here.
Yeah.
And you know,
And-
everything you see is just a refraction of
And
light.
for another alien creature to come here, it just it would take such immense amount of effort to get these aliens in one ship, them traveling 4 years or even potentially longer just to get here. The amount of shit that could go wrong with a ship that, you know, in that time frame. I mean, you know, Elon Musk been launching rockets into space, right? Not that much, but like he's on an iteration.
This scene is so freaky.
There's on 20 or 30 iterations of the same rocket of trying to just get out of the atmosphere. You know what I mean? The shit that could go wrong. I just don't know if it's possible to ever get any type of aliens on planet Earth. You know?
We'd be too hostile.
Well, no shit would be too hostile because you wouldn't know what the fuck they're here for.
Oh, that's for sure. Americans is gonna be shoot first and investigate later.
Well, I mean, can you blame them? You don't know what they are.
I probably would.
Well, they're sure as shit.
Look at it this way.
What are they on a humanitarian mission to save the
Look at it
planet?
this way. We're a white belt, Jim, and that's a ship of core belts coming in.
Yeah.
Why the fuck should we be attacking first? They had the technology to get here. You didn't think with a press of a button, the Earth just goes poof.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't mean that you can't fucking fight back.
Fuck
The point is this. The point is this. If they have the technology, they could broadcast. They could ascertain who's the primary, like the authority, to broadcast to them. Hey, listen, we're here on a humanitarian mission. We know your planet is about to fucking blow up. We're coming in with the fucking aid. They could do that, right? Like if they just come in just on an exploration mission, like what the fuck? Why are you exploring our planet? Did I give you permission to get on my planet, bitch?
I don't think they care for permission.
That's what I'm saying. So, anyway, I thought those two articles were pretty cool.
This is a new watch that Piaget just released.
That's cool. I like
This
it.
is nice. I like it.
All gold.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It looks like it's a reference from an old 70s polo watch.
I'd be fucking having a hard time reading the time, but it looks cool.
And then I had another article.
That's one thing.
Mm.
Yes, it's not one of the easiest. It's like my dad's little square watch. Reading the time is a whole mission on that shit.
Yeah. Go to the couple of the other articles that I had up. So go with one above. That's fine. That's fine. So ancient 15,000-year-old virus seen in melting Tibetan glaciers. So as the glaciers melt, more and more shit that's been trapped inside it starts coming to light, and this is a virus, right? And we don't know what the fuck it is to begin with, or where to even start looking into these things. And there's a potential of some of these things being like worse than the vid was, or any kind of other thing that we've had. So there's a straight up danger for it, right? Because these things don't exist anymore. So I thought that's pretty interesting, you know, as far as like the new discoveries of viruses and shit. It just gets more dangerous, you know.
You
like,
think we'll ever have like an all-in-one vaccine?
huh?
Think we'll ever have an all-in-one vaccine?
No, we wouldn't. There's just too much money to just get one vaccine.
That's true.
Companies make too much fucking money to do that. Can they do that? Yes. Will they do that? No. You know, it's
How the
just
fuck would they even do that though?
what, one vaccine?
Yeah.
Look at this watch.
Wouldn't that should be like conflicting? It would conflict the ingredients.
No, I mean the amount of money.
Maybe they could. That makes sense. They could conflict each other in the sense where they can't really go together.
the amount of money they're putting into research and development of preventative measures you could put in on giving you like permanent immunity. But why would they do that? It's a freemium service. You get paid per each vaccine. companies trying to make money. Would they rather give you something that you have to buy every season, or something that's going to cure you forever? Makes no damn sense. They're here to make money. They're not here to not make money.
True.
So I mean, logically, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's not even like conspiracy theory. It just logically doesn't make sense. But
So I saw this. I just posted it, Miggy, in the general. This Daniel Roth. You ever heard of that?
yeah, that sounds very familiar, actually. To watch.
It's a tourbillon.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
very
watch.
nice. It's got a cool shape to it. Scroll down. It's like one of those interactive pages.
Yeah.
Here's a better picture of it.
What
There
he
you go.
what
That
he's
works.
made before? If you show me some stuff that he's made before. I think these are all handmade.
Yeah,
completely,
but there you
right?
go. That's
One
the
piece.
watch right there.
There's a unique pieces, right? One of one.
I'm not sure.
Daniel Roth, man. I think this guy is British, isn't he?
You might be right.
Go to some of his other watches.
Hit history on the top. That might work. La montre objet d'art.
No, it's not this guy I'm thinking about. It's not.
Well,
the
it
guy
looks
I'm
like they
thinking about.
are. Might be handmade. Like you might be
Yeah.
right about being handmade.
Yeah, these are probably unique, individually created. Yeah.
Yeah, but this
There's
watch came
just-
out recently. It is very nice. I like it.
There's a British watchmaker that makes all his watches by hand, and it's coveted as one of the best watchmakers in the world because he makes them super unique. But
Go ahead and play that one, or put that one right there. That one you were hovering over.
This one?
No, down left. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man, that shit's nice. Look at the finishing
Yeah.
all throughout the dial and stuff.
Those give you a shit dials, bro. Like, that's crazy to me. How they get it all perfect by hand. Look at that. You can literally trace the lines, how straight they are. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
you almost get lost in like it being a grid or like a linear.
Yeah.
You know, that's how fucking perfect that shit is. Daniel Roth. Yeah, I feel like I've heard of this, but
Yeah.
oh, look at that. It's only 9.2 millimeters thick.
Mm. It's probably manual wound, no?
It looks like it. I didn't see a rotor on the case back. Go through those pictures again, Miggy, on Instagram. There was a picture of the case back. Go up. Keep going. Keep going.
Go down.
It was up here. Yeah, there you go. Right there in the middle. Yeah, it looks like it's manual wound.
Manual wound. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I like it. It looks pretty. So or all oversupply is keeping prices low, but the situation is about to flip. Occidental CEO says. So this is an opinion. We don't know what's gonna happen really, and we all know that one
Gas
thing
prices
that
have been fluctuating a lot lately. They've
Yeah,
either
one
been
thing that ticks
340
people
or
off-
280 or 270.
Yeah, man. I thought that was weird. Like I saw one gas station 280, and then I was like down the street 320, and I was like, what the fuck do they think these people are? What people
Yeah,
smoking
so-
crack to go to spend 320 when it's 280 right there?
remember this is
It's
election
kind of
year.
a surprise factor almost.
You-
Because
this
It
an
is surprising.
election year. You're not gonna see a big hike all up until November when the presidency changes, and I think once that happens, you'll see the prices go up. Because one thing people hate most is when gas prices go up, right? And people do vote with their wallets. Gas prices go up, Biden is not getting elected. I'm just saying, straight up, he's just not getting elected simply because of that fact. So that's why they have to keep the prices now. So, but what is this guy saying? Let's read a little bit more.
Do you
on it.
really think it's sensible though to be blaming Biden for gas prices?
No, it's not. But it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter because people are erratic, irrational. Majority of people do not care into understanding how things work. Majority of people live with their my opinion. Like they live within their small experience bubble and they think that's what reality is.
I think that I found that
This is apparent when you talk to girls, bro. Like try to explain to a girl something from a guy's life. Like they would never get that because they just live in their own little bubble. You know?
I mean, but we don't understand a lot of things about a girl's life either.
Like
Vice
what?
versa. A lot of the same, like vice versa, the same thing.
Like
bro.
what things would you not understand about the girl? Like you have to understand things about a girl to attract them. Otherwise you would not be able to attract them.
Not really. We just talked about the other day how best way to attract women is not paying attention.
Well, yeah, that's you understanding that they go for the attention and she has to earn the attention from you. That's the best way to attract her.
But
That's
that's
literally
like
understanding
that's a
how they
very
work.
basic understanding that another basic understanding a woman could have about a man. It's like I'm saying, you live from your view, from your eyes, bro.
But like, see, this is the thing. Like what I don't like. There's a lot of things that I don't care about what they do because in whole grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything in reality. It doesn't add any benefit. Like these are they have things that they do that do not add any benefit at all to nothing. Like, it's just they do some stuff that I don't care to understand those things. It's important to her, only her, and maybe like a small group of other women. You know what I mean? Like nothing like
I find that weird that
detrimental.
I said that you were saying I asked you like about understanding women, and you're saying that you took that as a chance to bash women that they do things
Well,
that not worth understanding.
Well, I'm not bashing them. I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying the reality. Like, there's not a lot. Like a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
that's
times,
the way you look at it, and you
well,
look at
now
it the
see,
other
it's
way
coming
around.
off as bash. It might be coming off as bashing to you, but to me that's the reality because, in a whole general sense, like, if you talk about between sexes, the guy and the girl, what the guy expects and what the girl expects, we don't expect them to be extraordinary. We don't expect them to do all these things and go out there and accomplish shit. They do it on their own if they want to. If they don't want to, that's fine. There's other redeeming qualities that they have. Like, we don't care about her inventing the next, I don't know, like inventing the next clock radio. I don't know. Like, I don't care if she does or she doesn't. It doesn't, like, okay, so here's the best example I could give you. When a doctor, as a human factor, yes, they have a lot of value. So let's say it's a doctor and it's a female, and she operates on your nephew. I think Marco Sartain used this as an example. It operates on your nephew, and your nephew is now alive because of her operation. Yes, she provides hella human value to the society. But as an attraction point, my dick doesn't get hard because she's able to do these operations. Do you see what I'm saying?
Clearly not, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. From point of attracting a woman, you need to understand what triggers them to attract them. Otherwise, you will not be able to attract women. If you don't understand like things about them, like for example, you need to understand. Okay, you going on a date, shower, clean yourself, shave, make sure you smell good, you look good. And then when you're bringing her back to your house, make sure your house is clean. Make sure there's a candle that's giving a good scent.
but these
make sure the
things that-
music is right. These are things that you have to do. But for
Ready?
women, it's more like, oh, well, they just happened. It's vibes.
No.
What do you mean?
They understand those
No, they
things
don't.
just vice
They
versa.
do not
Yes,
understand
they
that.
do.
They
Bullshit.
do not understand any of that
Bullshit.
shit. They do not understand any of that shit. After that date, they'll be like, he was the perfect guy. I don't know how he gets me. He gets me.
Oh my god. that's
But they
bullshit,
don't
Jay.
understand that it takes...
That's such bullshit, bro.
Bro,
Come on.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You as a guy, you need to go through hella steps to attract a
This
girl.
But we're talking about understanding each other. Like I told you, bro, from
Yeah.
the beginning. There are certain things that men aren't going to understand about women and vice versa.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Things that we need to understand are detrimental to us to attract them because we have to attract them. They do not need to attract us. They just exist and we go to them. So in that, yes, because women just exist and men approach them.
Okay, I mean, I guess you could get
So,
approached by
if that's-
shitty ass men.
You do.
By not caring.
You do. You get approached by shitty ass men and you get approached by good ass men.
No, but the women who to attempt to understand and know that men are looking for certain things,
yes,
will work towards those certain things.
and majority
and
of
that's
girls,
a certain understanding.
Yeah, majority of girls they never had to think about that because they never really need to work for
Bro, the
it.
majority of girls aren't pretty.
Well, majority of girls are average, correct? I agree.
Yeah. So why do you think that majority of girls are gonna work off their looks and just things are gonna be attractive?
No,
to them?
it's not.
That's not how that works.
No, it's not about being looks. I would pick somebody that's a little more submissive, a little more like to give the reins to me, being a leader, like a little more feminine than someone that's pretty and gives me fucking headache. You know what I'm saying? Like girls don't get this. They'll go out there, watch their YouTube things, put hella makeup on to look better than the next one without realizing that, yeah, you look better than the next one, but what else qualities do you have that a men are looking for? A lot of girls don't understand what qualities men look for.
In the sense of the dating sense, yes, there are a lot more things I think you're saying that a man has to button up on their checklist before that date.
Because their checklist is big, right?
But for on a woman's side, they still have certain things that they have to understand that the guy's going to be looking towards to present that.
Fit, feminine, don't embarrass me, friendly,
Underst-
don't
they
be
have
a
to
hoe.
understand
5
that.
things.
They have to understand that.
But
right?
majority of them don't because they go off of their own
But I don't think that's
existence.
majority.
This is full circle. They go off of their existence. It's like, but I make money. I hustle. Why don't you like me? I don't give a shit about those
I don't
things.
think that's the majority of women, though.
I think it's a pretty solid majority, bro.
No, I
Like,
don't
you ever
think
talk
so.
to girls? Like, ask them, what do you think guy wants from you? They'll be like, somebody that works hard, earns money. Like, they'll say shit that's like, what the fuck are you talking about? If I'm going to be taking care of you, I don't care how hard you work. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one that's paying the
I
bills,
would like
not
to
you.
know what girls you're asking this to.
Huh?
I would like to
Bro,
see
just-
the girls you're asking to.
Any girl. Like, you want to do an experiment? We can do an experiment.
Let's do it.
Let's do an experiment. We approach a random girl. As a matter of fact, this could be like an IRL thing or a video. We go downtown, approach girls, and be like, "What do you think guys look for in a couple?"
Or
And
we can phrase it directly in the question. What do you understand about men
Mm-hmm.
that you use and as knowledge to prepare yourself
so-
for dates?
So here's a good example I have, and I think this will. Have you heard of a lot of girls say, "Oh, men ain't shit. They always do this, they do that. Men are the problem. That's why I left him. That's why we broke up. That's why there's a divorce." Have you heard of this?
Mm-hmm.
You have, right? So they've done the studies. If that's the case, if men ain't shit, right? Which we take
Well,
it.
I mean, I haven't heard a lot of girls say that they've left the man because he ain't shit. I mean, I've heard a lot of girls complaining about men is this, men is that.
Yes,
and
correct.
then they
Perfect. A lot of girls complain about that. But they've done the studies. So they took heterosexual couples, men and a woman, and they took homosexual couples, men and a man, and a woman and a man. In those 3 couples, who do you think had the largest breakup rate?
Largest breakup rate?
Breakup percentage.
No idea.
Women with women. Even when men do not exist in a relationships, women break up at a higher rate than men do, which is the gay couples.
Right.
Right? So the gay couples, the gay men couples are the...
What's the
they don't-
margin between like this though? Like, is it like a large?
It's significant enough for them to do the study and say, hey, we understand this right now, that it's a significant enough number to say, like, even when men don't exist there, when they have no men to complain about, yet they go into more divorces and breakups and so on and so forth. Right? So in reality, what this study suggests is that men are not an issue. And this is not my own opinion. I've always suspected that that's the case, but it's not my opinion. It's like a scientific article that came out and said that. So men are not the issue. It's women, the way they perceive men. And a lot of times they think we need to communicate and talk to them the way they do with their girlfriends. We don't. When you say, for example, yes, it means yes. When you say no, it means no. When you say maybe, it means I have some shit to do and maybe we'll make it. But for them, it's like maybe. Maybe could be no, could be a yes, could be a maybe. You don't fucking know. You have to read in between lines and understand what the maybe means.
Maybe it's maybe. I don't
What
understand.
do you think are some effects of breakups?
What are the effects? What do you mean?
Like after effects?
Yeah, like what are some effects, as a negative or positive?
So what happens, I think, in a lot of times, girls, I think, will take that in the beginning very hard than the guy will. But then as time goes, girls bounce back faster than the guys do. Then that's when you see the guy starts going to the gym. Yeah, bro, boom, boom, boom. And then like 2 months into it, he's already maxed out his game character to level 40. He's got all kinds of like... Well, the girls will sit there and cry for a couple of weeks, and then they'll bounce back because they'll start getting attention from all these simps that are around. They'll buy her drinks and things like that. So she's back on a horse again. So I think it takes guys longer.
I think it depends on the kind of relationship, Jay and Mickey. So it could range in a spectrum of results. Like, for example, if like we talked about the other day, remember how I was saying I know a friend that like his girl, one of his previous girls wasn't very fond of like hanging out within the group and this and that. Like he almost like that was hard for him, but then at the same time like being able to kind of look for something else, or like it all depends. I think it depends on the relationship and what went wrong within the relationship,
and also
how it finished. You know, whether it finished on good terms or bad terms. But yeah, Jay's right though in the sense that most of the time when it initially happens, I think the women are the ones who have the initial shock, and then when time goes on is when it gets bad for the guy.
So that's why.
Do you think it could have some social consequences, like breakups?
No, I think you can.
Social consequences in what way?
I think.
Do you think it could affect the relationship between just your friends or people that you know?
So I think if you made an impression on a woman, like, you know, the quotation mark, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, 600 years, 700 years, 800 years, 900 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, 600 years, 700 years, 800 years, 900 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, 600 years, 700 years, 800 years, 900 years, 10 years, 15 ye that if she's alpha widowed, now she's gonna be comparing all the next guys to this guy, right? That could happen. Yes, that if you imprint it like that, that could happen. But let's think about it in the sense of evolution, right? Back in the day, tribes would get in a fight and they will fuck each other up, right? They would kill all the men and all the boys of age. They would destroy them. And all the women, they would literally take them with them, right? But the women that refused to go and they said, I'm going to stay with my husband because I'm not leaving, they would kill her too. Or the ones that picked up a sword to go fight, they killed them too. So genetically, that bloodline of like that resistance did not continue. So only women that went over and they had to get over that really quickly. This is the reason evolutionarily why women get over breakups so quickly.
It's like that thing I talked about the other day when I was watching Band of Brothers. How when they went into they were in a town in a Dutch town.
Yeah, Dutch town or any of the German towns and Austrian towns. This was very known.
They were in a Dutch town, and it was weird. They had like the Americans,
yes,
right? NATO guys were coming through. And all the women were jumping on them, making out with them, having sex with them in their rooms, like in the apartments and stuff, as they're just going through town. And in one of the scenes, you see that one of the American guys making out with this Dutch girl. And his like lieutenant comes over, or one of his guys comes over, like, hey, we gotta go. He gets up, and the moment he gets out of his chair, a bunch of Dutch dudes come over and grab that girl, and they take her to this town square. They strip her naked, and they tie her to a pole, right? And they start throwing rocks at them and shit or something.
Yeah.
And apparently these were the girls that were also making out with the American guys were coming through were also the girls making out with the Nazis when they came through.
Yeah, because you have to understand, the Dutch guys that were there, they couldn't do anything. So in their eyes, they're losers. They can't protect them. So whoever comes in and takes over this village, they're obviously stronger. So they have to align themselves with the stronger men to survive. That's why in war times, when you have peace and things are good, you get these differentiations of opinions. I want this. I feel like this, and that. But the minute war breaks out, every single woman that you know will align with themselves with the strongest men they can possibly find, and it's just a survival mechanism. Like we are very, very different in ways we think. This is why I'm saying that men have to understand women in order to attract them. Girls don't. They exist and shit happens.
What's up, Ozzy?
So I don't know. I think. It's a catch-22 that socially, can you have any consequences about this? I think guys can get jaded, especially if they're first love and she just like cheats on them, and then that could jade them. But then I think majority of guys are pretty logical when it comes to it, right? Like if they're not very emotional person, if they're logical, if they sit down and start doing their research and start understanding how this works, they can start picking up. It's like, oh shit, well, she cheated on me because I fucked up. Here's where I fucked up. This is what I need to do to fix it. And a lot of times that's what will happen. Girl will break up, and the guy will end up fucking leveling up like crazy within 2 to 3 years because they realize like there's almost like a chip on their shoulder,
or they stay stagnant.
Or they stay stagnant. Yeah, or they stay stagnant.
The
ones that stay stagnant, they will never reprocreate, which is okay because 46% of the males never reprocreated throughout the history, whether it was due to plagues, wars, or otherwise. Only 46% have reprocreated, right? So.
That's a cool, interesting fact.
Yeah, bro. Like we are the throwaway gender. We literally are like like
one of us could populate a whole school of women.
School? What are you talking about? Given enough time, you can populate the entire planet. Literally, you can populate the entire planet.
All right, buddy. All
bro,
right.
How much are you fucking?
Let's say you smash in once a day.
Look, buddy,
once a day.
You don't have
That's
Drake.
365
you don't have
women
Drake
a day.
dick. All right.
Listen. 365. You can smash 365 women in 1 year, correct? But there's times that you can smash 2 times, 3 times a day. So multiply that number by that many times. Give it another 30, 50 years.
Oh, in that sense. But yeah, but then you're also going to have a bunch of children.
Why?
Because it's all just your children.
Yeah. You reprocreated the entire fucking planet.
Yeah, but then when cousins start sleeping with cousins.
Well,
or half brothers start sleeping with half sisters.
That's why I never understood the Adam and Eve situation.
No, it doesn't make sense.
No, it's genetic bottleneck. That would never work.
Yeah.
That would never work. It's been proven that shit would never work. It's literally been proven.
But it's a cool fantasy to think about.
About what?
Adam and Eve.
No, I think Adam and Eve really depicts very clearly the like if you take it in that sense, in biblical sense, that depicts the clear relationship between a man and a woman where you're given a set of rules, don't do this,
Human, it just
It's
human greed.
yeah, yeah. So it point because I like to say this, that women are attracted to chaos, which is a funny way of putting it. It's really not that. They're not really attracted to chaos. They like to for their mind to be occupied at all times. They don't care how this happens. They don't care why this happens. They just want the emotional swings. That's why a lot of times what will happen when your girl nags at you and you kind of like pay more attention to it, she'll start nagging more and more and more because you just literally enforce that behavior.
So, you know, this is a little bit off, but Jay, would you consider yourself a God fearing man?
God-fearing men. I
Basically,
consider.
are you religious? Are you a believer in God in any way?
Well, I grew up as very religious. I have my own doubts and things like that, obviously, as any other person would, because I think about things logically. But I also understand that there are clear cut differences. Like if you take the Ten Commandments, I think it's a great way to live. Like it's a great
Well, yeah, in the
guideline
sense
to
of
live.
if you take
don't kill,
the
don't steal, don't cheat, don't do fuck shit. You know what I mean? I think they're good guidelines. So if you do follow the book per se as guideline, not necessarily like
you believe every word is written.
not necessarily things like if you do fuck up, understand that you fucked up and fix it, right? Not in the sense, well, God will fucking punish me and he'll kill me if I'm going to hell. Or
So the reason I asked this question is, we know we follow a lot of successful people like
but David is big into that.
PVD. You're a big fan of Mr. Tate. Who's big
I'm not a big
religious-
fan of it. I do listen to him. There's some things I agree with him and some things
But
I
regardless,
don't. But in general, I think his message is positive for the young people.
There's a lot of these successful guys that you follow that are very religious, and
Yes,
they
they
say
are.
that is a very vital part of their success, right? What do you have to say about that? Do you believe you have to be religious to be successful like that? Because I don't.
I don't believe you have to be religious to be successful, but I do believe if you follow the book, right? Like the book.
Yeah,
will
beyond
not-
that. Beyond
so
that.
that's what I'm saying. If you take that book as a guideline or as a walkthrough life and use that as a walkthrough, like when you play in video games, you have walkthroughs. If you take that as a walkthrough and then just follow that, by default, are you really believing in God? No. But by default, is it that you believe in God? Kind of yes. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like a middle ground in between.
Not really, because what these guys did is they just took a bunch of stories that, like you said, have some meaning behind them on kind of rules to life and put them together and called this their Holy Bible.
Yeah.
Right. So just by
And it's could be
by acknowledging that these stories have good meaning behind them and good rules and good foundations to life doesn't mean you believe in God.
Well, no, because see, if you look at it, if you want to go a little deeper on a religion aspect of this, right, then how this religion whole thing came around. Like back in the days, there was this king. His name was Hammurabi, and Hammurabi was known for being a very just king, right? This is way before Jesus and all the Bible stories, and way before Jews and all that stuff, right? So Hammurabi had laws, like he had rules that he's written on, like he had these rules written on these stones. Pull them up. So, when they start deciphering these stones, you can clearly trace even the Ten Commandments back to his rules, right? So religion has developed. It's kind of like, how you have sayings that you say, and then over years, those sayings kind of a little bit change, but they kind of keep the same meaning. And I think that's what happened here from Hammurabi's laws. Like, for one of the laws of Hammurabi was two women came to him, and one of them said, well, this is my child. And the other one said, no, this is my child. And Hammurabi was kind of like, whose child is it really? He said, okay, this is both of your children. What I'm going to do, I'm going to kill this child. So none of you gets it. And the mother, the actual mother of the child said, no, do not kill the child. Give it to the other woman. This is when he turned around and said, I know you're the mother, and gave the baby to the mother. Like things like that, like over the... So you can clearly trace some of these rules back to Bible. And that's, Bible was developed from Judaism, right? It was Judaism, Bible, and now you have Islam, which is the newest iteration of it, right? Like, and then you have the Asian or Oriental Buddha, and then you have the Shintoism, Taoism, you have all of that, and then you have the Hinduism, Confucianism, and then you have the Hinduism, things like that. Now they call it as a religion, but in reality, Confucius was more of a philosopher rather than a. But people follow that. They still go to temple and pray to Confucius, right? So it inevitably became religion. So could God or like could Jesus be a kind of a like a not necessarily a prophet, but somebody that was a philosopher and very smart ahead of his times? Yes. Could people start praying for his well-being? Yes, and that's how he became God, right?
You guys want to go over some of the Hammurabi's?
Yeah, go ahead. You can read some of them. They're pretty cool, actually.
Interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
If an ox gores to death a man while it is passing through the streets, that case has no basis for claim.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, if
yeah,
you
like
just
you
get
can't...
killed by a bull.
Yeah, but because people, what would
no
do,
fault.
family would go and try to say, well, this is your bull. Now you owe me something. And he's like, well, the fucking bull killed the person. Where's that got to do with the human who owns the bull, right?
If a man
that's like dogs nowadays.
Yeah.
If my dog Nala goes and bites someone, they're gonna put that bitch down.
Yes.
And they're gonna blame me for it.
And Hammurabi said, bro, it's a fucking animal. Why did you get cross in front of it? Hammurabi straight up was a boss, bro. It's like, it's a fucking bull. Why are you crossing in front of it? You know what's gonna happen.
That's bullshit. That's like me when I'm at work and I run into something and I'm like, fuck, who put that there?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's a bullshit claim, Jay.
Nah, but I think it's pretty legit.
Right.
It's a fucking dog. Move away.
Next one. If a man rents a boat of 60 capacity, he shall give 1/6 of a shekel of silver per day as its hire.
So there you go. So
they made it work back then.
Yeah, so he's like, he put rules in, like,
that was an economy.
Yeah, that was minimum wage right there.
Yep. Rates of hire says it right there.
That's minimum wage right there for you. The guy was super fucking just. You know what I mean?
If a slave should declare to his master,
fuck out of minimum wage.
"You are not my master," he, the master, shall bring charge and proof against him that he is indeed his slave, and his master shall cut off his ear.
Okay, well, we know that this has no basis in slavery.
Well, back in the day, they had slaves, right? Like, I mean, he bought it, so that's slaves. So everybody in the back of the day was normal, right?
the guy has to say, "You are my bitch," and then I'm gonna cut off your ear.
Yeah, if he has proof. If he doesn't have any proof, he goes free. So that slave better stole all them documents before he said that.
If a builder constructs a house for a man, but does not make it conform to specifications so that a wall then buckles, that builder shall make that wall sound using his own silk.
Yes, I like this.
Hence licenses and fucking inspections. There you go, bro. We still live by his rules. And this motherfucker made these rules like eons ago. Way before Christ, way before
this is kind of like that thing me and Ozzy were talking about the other day when he was talking about the build out for the gym and all that stuff, and the guy told him like, hey, no changes, in the sense where I'm telling you this is gonna cost that much, and if I have to change it, it's gonna cost more. It'll cost me more, bro. Because I already told you how much it's gonna cost. I can't come to you and be like, hey, now it's $60,000 when you said 30. Whatever it may be.
A lot of people don't know about Hammurabi because they don't pay attention in their humanities class.
Hammurabi.
You talk about Hammurabi in your humanities class because he was probably one of the most influential persons in creating any rules. He was the first one to create rules and actually write them down on these tablets, right? Like on these
this one right here is a bit confusing to me. If a man takes in adoption a young child at birth, literally in its water, and then rears him, that rearing will not be reclaimed. What does that?
It basically means that if I get with a girl and I am there when this child's born and house it and grow it,
water. So meaning, if the mom gave birth to a child, when he comes in, it comes out from the water, right? Like
yes.
So when it comes out, and you take that right there, right then and there, and raise it.
That's your kid.
The second part.
So they cannot come back in 2 years and say, this is my child, I want it back. Because you can say, no, I raised it, it's my child now. You see what I'm saying?
And then so if the guy leaves the child,
and then rears him,
he cannot reclaim that child, is what I'm reading.
No,
the biological father.
Rearling will not be reclaimed. The biological parents cannot reclaim the rearling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because a lot of times, you'll have surrogate mothers, and then or like a young girl gives birth, they sign all the paperwork, and you pay a bunch of money for that, and they're like, no, I'm keeping the child, and now you're fucked out of the money and everything, right? So
another great law: if a man breaks into a house, they shall kill him and hang him in front of that very breach.
God damn.
Well, Don't fucking break into the house.
You don't gotta.
That's where that shit came from. Don't steal. Don't steal literally came from that one. If you fucking break into an house for stealing, we're gonna hang you.
That's a bit extreme. But
Hammurabi had some great laws.
Yeah, well, Hammurabi was a pretty cool dude.
He had a good system in place.
Yeah,
for
he
the
also
most
had
part.
slaves though.
He did.
No,
Everyone else in that time
they
had
slaves.
slaves.
Everyone
had slaves, bro.
Right? Don't put it on him, all right?
If you
It's
think,
all his fault.
Don't put it on Hammurabi.
if you think nowadays we don't have slaves, you're mistaken. Nowadays we have slaves. Think about it. Back in the day, somebody gave you a house and food and said you work for me. Now what they're saying, I'm not giving you the food nor the house, but I'll pay you for you to buy the food and the house. But you still work for me and you still don't have anything extra left. Majority of people are in a deficit. So
Yeah, but that's
nowadays
not-
you have slavery.
But that's not slavery, Jay. That's employment.
Well, but the sense is like if you take the machine, whether not this one company or the other company, but if you take the machine of employment as a general, like you take all these companies together, they're paying you for the job that you do, but the pay that you get is enough for food and shelter only, and you pretend that you have freedom.
But is it really only enough for food and shelter only?
Yeah, because try not paying to your taxes. What's gonna happen?
No. But is it only enough for food and shelter?
Yeah.
No, it's not. We buy a lot more things with the money we get.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you need food and shelter. Period.
Yeah, you
right?
do. But you buy more things than just food and
And
shelter.
then what? But you still are tied to that job that pays you.
yeah.
You still have to go to that work,
Yeah, 'cause
which
you-
is whether you want
But
it
at
or
the end of
not.
the day, how else would it work? You gonna live for free? Just everybody gets money for free and
No,
food
no,
for
no,
free?
no. At the end of the day, what I'm saying is like when people slavery existed then and slavery exists now. Except we have the full sense of
Nah, man,
of that we're free.
You're taking the employment system to its mad basics and trying to
So,
extract
okay.
the few
So-
things that it has by definition
So
as
okay,
slavery.
so let me
Not
ask you
really,
this.
man.
Let me ask you this. So if a slave did not want it to work, what would happen to it?
Get beat, probably killed.
Beat
Or sold off.
Beat or killed or sold off, right? Okay. So let's say you lose your job right now. You cannot find a job. What's gonna happen?
Go homeless.
You go homeless, and then what happens when you go homeless? There's some programs there, but then at the end of the day, you're most likely not gonna have a good time, right?
Yeah, you're
The,
just gonna
the,
be a bum.
you're not gonna have a death because we're a little more humanitarian nowadays, right? Like right away, like
Yeah,
that.
but you'll be a
It's a
bum.
slow death versus a fast death, but at the end of the day, it's still death.
Like I was saying, you're taking this stuff way to its basics and
Yeah.
extracting.
Well, you
these
have
few-
to.
No,
For it
no,
to
no,
make
no, no, no.
sense.
You don't. In the sense where you're taking it to its mad basics and extracting the few definitions that you could call slavery and just labeling those as employment when it's a lot more things included. Like you're saying, it's only enough for food and shelter. It's not.
Well, we just-
we with all the money we have and work for it, we bought all the shit in this room.
We just read that article that says 25% of the income goes to food.
25.
Yeah, 25, and the rest of the money goes for shelter. And a lot of times these people don't like. Remember, I put that video out of that lady that was getting handouts through government, and she said, "Like, even if I get a $60,000 job, I'm still gonna
Right.
be
Yeah.
in it."
We remember. Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, in that sense, but I just think that to
And
call it
$60,000, that's more than average person
to
makes in the
even
United States.
call it comparable to slavery before and say that it's
Well,
still slavery now. No, it's
Situation is not that dire, meaning you're not getting beaten shit because you don't
not.
work.
It's not dire at all compared to before.
You live a little more comfortably, but at the end of the day,
a little.
you do live comfortably.
No, not a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, but you're still dependent on something.
Yeah, because that's how the world works.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I still say slavery still exists. I understand that. I acknowledge that, and I continue to do what I need to do to make the money. Right? Like I understand that. Once you get these little things in the world starts becoming super easy to understand. So I thought this is interesting. King Charles III cancer diagnosis leaves all the scientists stumped. So
Slavery has to do with ownership of only humans. Yeah.
Okay.
I just think, like I said,
If you're telling me that the corporations don't own you, then that's crazy.
they don't really own you. You have the
Indirectly,
you
they
have
do.
the option
Correct.
to
Correct.
opt
but
out
it-
as
that-
always. As a slave, you didn't.
You didn't have the option, but indirectly, you can opt out from working.
Like I said, you can be a
You
homeless
can-
guy. Remember I don't know if
Yes.
you guys saw this a couple of years back. There was this homeless dude, famous in California or Las Vegas, that he would would literally just party. He would find girls at night, party, sleep at their places, shower, fuck all these girls Homeless dude, bro.
Yeah.
Legit homeless dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 2-3 times out of the weekend.
Yeah, but
sleep
how
on
many out of
cardboard.
the 8 billion do that?
No, I get it, right? No. But
You
I'm saying
found the
like,
fucking little loophole. I
yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
no, but I think that like,
But majority
That's
of
a
the
good-
people, if they stopped working right now, they would literally go fucking homeless. So they're really dependent on their
but
work.
that's like saying
So
that.
what I'm saying is that the understanding of slavery like it was before and what it is right now, it has changed completely. Yes, I get
It's not slavery. It's different. Something else. Call
Yeah,
it. It's
what-
employment. That's what it is.
Yeah, you want to
There you
call it that
go.
way?
There you go.
You want to call it that way? It makes you feel a little bit better. Call it that
It's
way.
not that it makes me feel better. I'm
It
just saying
does.
you're. No, it doesn't, because it's just two different things. They're not the same.
Modern day problems with modern day solutions.
No, it's different. They're different.
I don't know. Capitalism, whether you're in a capitalistic world or you're in a in a socialist country, you have the same fucking thing.
Late stage capitalism. He put his correction there or whatever.
I mean, it doesn't matter what country you live in. You still have to go to work.
Yeah, but employment. You're basically saying that the definition of the new slavery is just employment. That's
Correct.
They're two different things. One is slavery. One is employment.
No, I understand that. But in any case, either one of the cases, you can't just opt out of it. You can't opt out of it in the sense that you can't opt out of it. In this one, you're like made to do it. In this one, you kind of choose to do it because you understand the consequences of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They give you the false sense of having a choice, but in reality, you have to do it and continue to produce.
I mean, you can't be homeless. And
Yeah, you can be homeless, but then again, you know.
King
Option.
Charles
You
III
do have
got-
the option at the end of the day, and the extreme. In
Yeah,
the extreme sense,
I
you do
don't
have
think
the
those
option.
options are that fucking great. Did they be homeless or work?
None of them work. None of them.
None of them
fine,
are
right?
fucking good. I mean, yeah, the situation is better. I get it, but
All right, so not late. Sorry.
Damn, tomorrow.
King Charles III cancer diagnosis leaves doctors stumped for this reason. Here's all you need to know. Buckingham Palace shared that King Charles is dealing with the kind of cancer that hasn't been disclosed the specific type, clarifying that it's not prostate cancer. The diagnosis came to light while he was getting treated for a swollen prostate.
okay.
According to the palace, the king started regular treatments on Monday and would abstain from public obligations during that time. The 75-year-old monarch remains wholly positive regarding his treatment and looks towards returning to full public duty as soon as possible, said the statement. The king decided to make his cancer treatment public during his time as Prince of Wales. He supported several charities that support cancer research, according to the palace. This looks like some of the stuff from Buckingham Palace.
This also seems like a little bit of clickbait.
Yeah, because they don't even give us what kind of
I
cancer he has
don't
and why
know.
are the
No.
doctors
They told
stumped.
you. They told you.
The thing is that they didn't disclose what type of cancer he had.
So how are they going to tell us how the doctors are stumped?
Exactly. Yeah. There was also this AI that deciphered this ancient Herculaneum scroll piece. I don't understand how AI could do something like this, because how do we know AI is reading this right?
Yeah, but at the same time, Miggy, you
That's
want to know
actually
something?
so-
You never know if they're reading it right.
Yeah.
It-
Whether it's
translations
human
of
or
over
AI,
ti-
if
trans-
anything, I'll trust the AI better because he has the database right in front of him. of
Exactly. I
multiple
probably would
Asian
trust it better
languages.
too, because over the history of human beings, we have been known to fuck up translations. Literally known to fuck up translations across the board. You know, so I agree
what's
with
the
Jay.
biggest
I'd
fuck
rather
up?
trust this shit.
Biggest fuck up, Virgin Mary, talking about Bible. And from the Greek, I think translated, it came out as virgin, right? But the word itself that they translated over and said it's a virgin, it just meant a young girl. Which they assumed because she's a young girl, that means she never had sex. So it means that she was a virgin. It was an assumption. The translation went into an assumption and became a virgin.
I wish I could remember the comedian that made this joke, but he made a joke about how Jesus was gay. He was like, think about it. Last night, he just had a party with a bunch of dudes, and then he was like, I want to fuck something.
I think we can all agree on one thing. Virgin Mary was lying her ass off.
About?
Now, see, See, Alex said if it wasn't
Buddy,
slavery,
you
you would
didn't have
not
that
be able
Drake dick.
to choose to open your own business.
But that's in the employment sense. We're
It's in
talking
an,
about.
yeah,
No,
but it's still. I mean, you open in a business, you're still working. I mean, try not paying taxes on your house. See what's gonna happen.
No, but like I said, you're taking
need
the
money to pay
basics. You're trying to
taxes.
apply these basics, these small basics parts. Yeah, we don't need to talk about this.
Yeah,
Damn, Jay, what the fuck?
talking about Virgin Mary.
Do you guys?
Yeah,
Do you guys?
she was cap.
Dude,
Yeah.
people who
Cap,
try.
big cap.
She smashed, bro. Biology.
People-
Somebody
No more
else, clearly.
People who
It
try.
was, it was probably the fucking, the husband.
People who try and predict shit is always so sketchy. It's like this person has always guessed this right, and then they're wrong.
Historian who correctly predicted almost every election winner since 1984 reveals who is likely to
So
win
that's
in
what
2024.
40 years of predictions of 10 presidencies. I mean, 10 out of 10 is pretty okay number, I'm guessing.
But it said mostly. I don't think he
Play
got
it.
all of them. Go up a little bit. What did it say? Who corrected almost every election since 1984.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's skewed data here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so play it, see what they're saying. We'll see. What are they predicting here.
I don't know. This is something else.
I have more prediction.
This
Click.
is something else, and I can't read the full article.
Okay.
Oh, you can't read the. Okay, got it. Okay, go back then. I mean, I have my own predictions who might win.
What do you think?
know.
Hey, bro. At the end of the day, he probably got 8 or 9 of the predictions right, and it's a 50-50 flip. You know what I mean? Like, did he really do that big of a job?
Say
4
again?
little things men look in.
Our favorite trusted
Women.
your tango.
Oh, it's your tango. I don't want to read this, Jay. You can do it.
Come on, bro. Like your tango is fun. Go down. What does it say? Four little things.
men look for in women post-divorce.
Okay.
Number 1, a deep attraction. No man is expecting a supermodel for second wife unless he's an LA film producer. However, most men are not willing to settle for anyone they're not deeply attracted to. And I certainly
What?
think this is the right idea for both men and women. Men who are into fitness seem to very much value that quality in a partner, particularly if they were incompatible in this dimension with their ex. Men value a woman who dresses up to see him, especially if they feel their ex was a roommate and sweats all the time. Of course, I hear the same from women, who want a man who takes pride in his appearance if they felt their ex was a slob.
See, I don't know if I agree with the most men aren't willing to settle with anyone who they're not deep with anyone they are not deeply attracted to. Or sorry, no, I misunderstood that. I thought it meant like other people are attracted to. Sorry, I misunderstood that actually.
Okay. Niceness.
Niceness. Nice to men usually means physically and verbally affectionate. Most men do not initiate their divorces, so they were likely in a marriage for years with a partner who is feeling more and more upset or distant. They have not experienced praise or affection in marriage in a long time. And more than anything, they want someone who can openly express delight, appreciation, and later love and desire. They want someone who laughs at their jokes. Being nice to his kids is also necessary, but most men do not expect someone who takes on the mother role if their kids have one already. Number 3, enjoyment of sex and touching. The majority of men deeply value the love language of physical touch. If their wife condescended to this love language and physical affection...
Basically, men like to smash. Go next.
Okay.
Flexibility.
Flexibility. In these cases I've seen where the man initiates divorce. The man initiates divorce, which is, I've said is much rarer than the converse. It is because the woman's anxiety and rigidity felt increasingly and intolerably constricting and stressful. This ranges from anxiety about the kids to constantly feeling overwhelmed and stressed to perfectionism. Any untreated and unacknowledged anxiety disorder, especially when coupled with a very rigid worldview, becomes extremely difficult to live with. Men in this position also fear that their kids will be raised to fear the world.
My
that their
question
mother
is to
teaches
you
them.
guys. My question is to you: is it after divorce or just in general men look for these qualities? And most men will get married when they're pretty young, so they might not be able to choose. So they marry some like whoever they can get. Right? I just don't think it's any different whether they get divorced and have these same. I think they have this across the board throughout their life, except after divorce, they might be in a better position. Success-wise or materialistically earning more money where it opens more doors for them.
This is just your tango adding filler.
I think so too, man. I think they're just
just
talking
them
out
adding
of their
filler.
fucking ass
They use some
in
pretty
reality.
big words too.
Huh?
Right? They be using these big ass words. It's filler words, bro.
Yeah, they probably
Filler.
had a chatbot
ChatGPT?
write this shit. Yeah. Yeah, because like
This does look like some shit ChatGPT would
Look,
write too.
What do you-
Wife condescended.
so go back up. Go
That
back
does sound like some shit
Go
ChatGPT
go
would
go
say.
back up. Go back up. One more.
I'm curious.
Here, a deep attraction. So be fit, right? One word describes this whole thing. Niceness. Be friendly, right? Fit friendly. Go down.
Can we run this through an AI detector?
Do it. Fucking do it. Run this through AI detector.
Literally just look up, put AI detector, and the one will pop up.
Run the shit through AI detector.
That second one is pretty good. Allegedly. Just copy like that third paragraph in there.
Done fucking the URL, the whole thing. Go.
Okay.
Okay.
Me and Jay got shut up real quick.
She ran that shit through a fucking anti-AI bitches.
So go back to the article again.
You know, there's one of these that runs it through all the sites. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Like it runs it through Writer. It runs it through it runs it through 6 different ones.
Oh shit!
All at once.
So here I'm gonna summarize this whole article in fucking 3 seconds. Go first one. Fit. Second one. Friendly.
Horny.
And flexibility. Non-toxic. Done. They could have just said
not
things.
non-toxic. Understanding.
No, not toxic, because it specifically talks about men divorcing.
Okay.
So, which usually,
however you want to spin it.
This
Jay.
is the self-improvement one. I thought, let's read this, see how possible this is for someone to do. Give our opinion on it, I guess.
Early retiree who earned $380,000 passive income last year. Your best option for making money while you sleep.
Let's read. How to use your brokerage account to earn passive income. You can buy buy treasury bonds. Right now, treasury bonds are at 4.73%. Miggy, pull up the calculator. Annually, right? So put in a calculator $1 million. I know the answer, but I just want you to say times 0.043. What is that? $43,000. For you to live off treasury bonds, you would need to put in $1 million for you to earn $43,000, which is below average for United States. So let's say you want to be an average, right? Like what last time we looked at it was $65,000 household income, right? So do $65,000. 65.
I can't type.
Divided by 0.043. So you need to put in $1.5 million for you to make that 65. But what this means that your $1.5 million is going just to stay as $1.5 million. In finance, there's this such thing as time value of money. A lot of people like to say it's inflation. It's really not inflation. It's time value of money. It's money making you money, right? Which you're utilizing that. You're making money. But that money, the $1.5 million, is going to cost less and less as time goes. And in addition to that, right now, treasury bonds are returning 4.3%. But if something happens, treasury bonds are going to go to 1%, right? Like, pull up historic treasury bond yields. Yeah, and
real quick, shout out to our official sponsor, Vitality Wellness Center. If you guys haven't checked out Vitality, they got their location on Park Street, Park Street, and then they also have the location on 4th Street. Guys, make sure to check out Vitality. If you haven't gone there, you're missing out. Get your body right.
So look, in 1980s, treasury bonds were yielding almost 16%. And then they've been steadily going down to about 2020. And then once they started raising the rate. So in 2020, right, like before 2020, we're at below, almost at zero. That's where we're yielding. So this steadily been going down because we have this like cheap money, right? Borrowing cheap money. Do you think it's going to continue going up? Of course not. It's going to go down, right? So by them saying, oh, well, you can invest into treasury bonds doing passive income, my point here is you need to have money. So how in the fuck are you going to invest in treasury bonds if you have no money? Right? You can't just put in there $1,000 expect to get some sort of money out of it, right? Like it makes no sense. So
and what the fuck are you doing putting in 1.5 just to pull out 63? Like, that's a waste of money. Literally, you're putting your money in the wrong place.
Yeah, to get 1.5%. Now, let's say you're trying to buy a car, right? And instead of you like just putting it into a savings account, you can put it in a brokerage account where it actually will grow at that 1.5%, which will add
Until you need
something
it.
to it until you need it. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so that makes sense because you know there's an expense coming up and you're using this for that expense. You can
Bro,
go that route.
I know-
quasi safely.
I know you recently got into the Apple Card. Are you using that savings account? 4.5%, bro.
No, I'm not.
Bro, that shit's crazy. They got that one of the highest
Yeah, they do.
percentages.
Yeah,
for
they're high
savings.
yield savings account.
And they just put it up actually. I think it was like 4.3 and now it's 4.5.
Yeah. So the way I look at the savings account, mine is more in a brokerage account where
Right.
I can just kind of manage of what I want to do, and I break it up a little bit. Some do well, some do worse, but it's a self-managed brokerage account that I keep it in because nowadays 2 to 3 days. Any investment suggestions about right now? If you want to stay safe, stick with your treasury bonds or whatever, because what Jerome Powell came out and he's very flaky on actually cutting back the rates because he doesn't want to make mistakes of his predecessors. So I think, I don't know what your case is, but if you want safe, you can stay in the treasuries. You want a little bit more aggressive, or money market, treasury or money market, a little more aggressive, you can go with, maybe white collar or blue collar companies, or ETFs or mutual funds that are a little on the safer side. If you want to do aggressive emerging markets, which is India, is probably the most aggressive bet, right? So it's hard to say what's the great suggestion. Now, if I knew in what to invest in 6 months and make money, we would not be having this podcast. We would be having completely different podcast. And anytime somebody tells you, I know in what to invest in 6 months to make hella money, they're fucking scamming you. Just, it is what it is.
Shout out Felix.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Felix.
Oh, we just got to 130, fellas.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a nice little episode. You were all over the place. I like this one. We had a lot of topics.
We covered everything. Watches. Oh, we didn't cover cars.
Yeah, we did.
I got
We
one.
talked about the F-150.
But there's a car that he's gonna like. Go in there. Go in there. Go up maybe. Or just do the new Audi RS6.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
That shit's badass. I love that.
I figured you like
RS6 Avant.
Yeah. RS6
Club
Avant.
Sport or something like that. They released a special
it's
edition
for 2026, I think. That's the new.
Avant. Yeah.
Yeah.
They released a new one.
The new one. Go to the new one.
That one right there. Third. Go 3 down. No, you're not anymore. Go scroll down a little bit more. You see the one with the livery on the bottom, to the left. Bottom. Yeah. Up to the right.
Click on an article.
Right there.
Yeah. Click on an article. Right there.
That car and driver article
on that
exactly.
article.
Yep.
That right there. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That front face looks aggressive as hell.
Bro,
it looks actually really good.
When they introduced the Avant to the American market, I was just in love. I'm not a big Audi guy, but man, that wagon is fucking nice.
The problem is Americans don't like wagons. Because
No,
they
but
think of it as
Europeans love
grocery
them.
getters. Yeah.
Europeans love them. So like the wagon has been a big thing in Europe. Penny stocks, T-bills only let you put in 10K. No question mark.
No, you can put more than that. You can put more than 10K. You can go to money market, right? You can have $40,000 in the market, $100,000 in the money market right now. It's going to return probably about the same as the T-bills do.
Yeah, that car is badass. You know what? We'll save the F1 cars for next time because I think they're still going to release some
You might
by next
have a
week.
limit on it. You might have a limit on it if you haven't been investing for whatever company you're going through. You might have a limit on how much you can buy. But that's because the company is maybe putting a limit on it. I don't know, but you should be able to buy whatever you want in the market, in open market, in a brokerage account. You shouldn't have any issue to buy whatever you want.
Well, I think that's good, guys. Thank you for everyone joining us. Felix, Alex.
Wait, hold on. This is important. Felix, for you, I would find out if your company is okay with you investing and they don't need to see your account. So I would look into it a little more because sometimes when you are in financial industry, Treasury Direct, I mean, at the end of the day, you looking for Treasury Direct, what's going to happen is, so this is what happens with Treasury Directs, right? Like when government releases something, they contract big companies and say, hey, listen, we need to sell these. What can you do? And these companies come back and say, well, I can sell this many, I can sell this many, I can sell many. So they create what's called a syndicate, and syndicate ends up selling it. And then you go out there and buy it in the secondary market, right? Like, so actually buying treasuries might be a little bit more
Invest in traveling.
Yeah, it might be a little more difficult for you actually buying treasuries, but at the end of the day, money markets are pretty safe and easier way to do it. Can you invest in treasuries? Yes. So basically, what I'm trying to say, for you to invest into treasuries, you're gonna need a minimum, not a maximum, right? Like in 10K is probably not gonna cut it. You're probably gonna have to come in with a 10 million or 100 million minimum as a client, right, to buy it, because then you become part of this syndicate that buys it in bulk, right? Like most of the time, that's how it would work. But you can get individual treasuries as well. But I say money market is the easier route. But more importantly, find out through a company if they want you to open a brokerage account or have a brokerage account that they can follow and see, because a lot of times, I don't think you're in that category, but a lot of times they're gonna want to have some sort of access to the account just to make sure there's no front running going on. So that's one thing, so I would just look into that. But yeah, but you can get money market returns. Like, for example, I'm not saying this is what you should do. Again, it depends on your situation. But for example, Fidelity, if you just put your money in a Fidelity account and you don't invest in anything, they automatically give you a money market, which is returning about 4.5-5% right now. So they automatically invest your money in a money market, and it's available to you at any time for you to grab and go.
Good, Jay.
Yeah. I had to make sure I give him like the education.
Yeah,
part,
man, you
right?
got questions.
I can't give him.
You gotta let him know.
I can't give him
hanging.
I can't give him an opinion because of the licenses and things that I have. So if I give him an opinion, he has to sign documents and become my client, which that's not what I do. So,
alrighty, thank you guys for coming out tonight. Let's see if we can get this intro done now. Thank you, Felix, for joining us. Alex, my father, I saw you guys in the chat.
Said 10
Arthur,
million, easy peasy.
easy
Yeah,
peasy.